go!
Hey guys, it's Retrohead here, and welcome back to another video. Today's video is the longest video that I've done so far on my channel, and that is a compilation of my best finds of 2025. So it's a bit of a mixture of finding really good things at CEX, but also charity shops, Carboots, Facebook Marketplace, anything like that. Basically anywhere that I've found really good deals on retro games and stuff to trade in CEX, that is what you're going to see in today's video. And there are some really cool games to show you in this video. Loads of N64, GameCube, Super Nintendo, Game Boy games, some Sega stuff as well, Xbox, PlayStation, and loads of other really cool stuff. I was fortunate enough to find lots of really cool things in 2025, so to narrow it down to a top 10 list was pretty difficult, but in my opinion, this is my best finds of the year. So as this is going to be a very long video, I don't want to keep you too long. So if you do enjoy this video, please leave a like, please subscribe to our channel Retrohead, but without further ado, let's get started with showing you these finds. So the first find is when I went to CEX and found 3 really cool games, all boxed and complete, but all for unboxed price. Today I'm really excited to show you this video. As like I said at the start of the video, I think I've had my best CEX trip I've ever had. And that is because I went to the Thetford CEX today, and there was a game that I wanted to buy that I saw online that I did buy and add to the collection. And that is a GameCube game that cost £100. But I'm not going to be showing you that game in today's video, that's going to be for a separate video. But I found something absolutely incredible in Thetford CEX this time. And that is a boxed and complete N64 game that I've wanted in the collection for absolutely, well, over a decade now, I'd have thought. And it's an expensive one, but I managed to get it complete in box and in pretty nice condition for unboxed price. But not only that, I actually got a couple more boxed complete Nintendo games for unboxed price. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to showing you what I found in today's video. But without further ado, let's go to Thetford CEX. So here I am walking up to Thetford CEX. Now this is a CEX I do go to fairly often, and they always have some pretty nice stuff in there. Always quite a big retro selection, which is a very good thing to see. Sometimes it's not in the best condition, sometimes it can be good. As you can see, some of these games aren't the best condition. But as you can see, moving along a bit further past all of these boxed games, there is a big gap there. And that is where the insane item was. So this was a game that I've wanted in the collection for absolute years on the N64. A very expensive game, but complete in box, unboxed price. It was sitting there, complete in box for unboxed price, which is just crazy. So in total, I bought 3 boxed Nintendo games, and as you can see, I'm checking out the condition of some of them here. This probably is giving away like what I actually bought, but I just wanted to show you like how good they are at showing you the condition in the Thetford CEX. And like I said, I wasn't overly picky about the condition today because all 3 of these games were complete and for unboxed price, which is something you see every now and again in CEX, but you really hardly ever see. So I just sort of wanted to get like proof that they were unboxed price by like zooming in on the prices and stuff. So I've just finished at CEX, and that was literally the best CEX trip I've ever had. I can't wait to show you what I got back at the game strip, and also a very nice boxed complete N64 game for unboxed price. So I cannot wait to show you what I bought here because this is crazy. So I'm back from CEX, so I picked up some really nice bits to add to the collection. That £100 GameCube game that I'm going to be showing you in a different video. But the reason for how I've been affording picking up such nice stuff lately is I've been trading in so much stuff out of my collection. Most of my PS4 collection and all of my PS3 collection, as I said. So I got a lot of vouchers lately, but I've also been finding some really good stuff in like garage sales and bits and pieces like that I've been trading in. So I'm doing really well for the CEX voucher at the minute, and that is what I used for all of the stuff in today's video, and also that GameCube game as well. So what the prices that you see I didn't actually pay out of pocket for. When I'm trading something in CEX, I normally like to make another 50% on top. So if I find something for like 50p, I normally like it to trade in for £1 or more. Same as if something costs £10, I like it to trade in for at least £20, stuff like that. So all of the prices you see, so say if I say one of the games cost me £8, so that cost me at the most £4 out of pocket, but probably quite a bit less than that. And that is how I've been adding some really nice bits to the collection. And I've also, in future videos, got some very, very, very nice GameCube games to show you. So stay tuned for the channel for that one. But now let's get started on today's pickup. So to start with, I'll show you the CEX stuff. And the charity you'll find at the end is nothing too crazy, but just a pretty cool little item for only 50p. But the main game that I picked up from CEX that I'll show you in a bit is absolutely insane. So first off, I'll show you one of the box complete N64 games that I picked up for unbox price. This one is by far the worst condition of the three. It's not in very good condition at all. But when I tell you how much it was, you'll know why I picked it up. And that is Extreme G Racing on N64. A really, really good game, Extreme G, as I already have it box complete in the collection. But I could not resist picking this up. Now, this is boxed with the manual, cartridge, insert, absolutely everything. And this cost £3, because that is how much they sell just the cartridge for. Now, I could not resist picking this up. Now, I am actually going to be keeping this in the collection, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But I just want to show you what it came with first. As you can see, the box is pretty rough. Like, I'm not going to try and hide that. It is pretty rough, but, you know, it's there, and it was unboxed price. Next up, we have the manual, and again, it's not in the best of condition, but to get all of this for £3, and like I say, at least half that, £1.50, but normally I like to trade in stuff for more. Like, I found a few DVDs for 50p each, and they trade in for like £4 each, so this probably cost me about £1, if not a little bit less, which is just insane. And we also have the cartridge here, and I'm probably going to be replacing this with my copy anyway, as this is in really, really nice condition. Next up is the second complete in-box N64 game for unbox price, and that is Pilot Wings 64. Now, normally, this game complete in box at CEX is £22, but I paid only £8 for it, so I'm very, very pleased. Now, as you can see, this box, again, not in the best condition. Luckily, the one at the end, which is the game I've wanted for over a decade, is actually in pretty good condition. But as you can see, this one, not the best, but my copy is, where is it, here. And this is one of the first games that I actually bought boxed years and years ago, and I did not buy it in very good condition. This was when I literally had like 2 boxed Nintendo games at the time. So this is going to be replacing my copy because it is actually in better condition. I know it doesn't look it, but I'll show you this one actually while I'm here. I believe, if I remember correctly, this one has got, yeah, it's got a lot of sticker damage, but that bit up there is actually a proper rip, like actually took out the box. So I'm probably going to be getting rid of this copy and replacing it with that copy. And at the time in CEX, I didn't actually know this one was in better condition than mine, but this one has the manual and mine didn't have the manual, which is the main reason why I picked it up. As you can see, here is the manual. Again, it's not in the best condition, but for something that old that will have been read through like many times, it's not too bad at all, really. We also have the insert, and the insert for Extreme G as well, which I didn't actually show you, but it did come with the insert. And I also have the cartridge here, and this is going to replace my cartridge, as mine has a big sticker on the front. And this is in really, really nice condition, this cartridge. So, and the final game, and this game is absolutely crazy. Like, this complete in box at CEX is £90, and I cannot see why they didn't price it complete in box. The other ones I can see why, because if they got bought online by a collector and paid the boxed with manual price, they would probably return it because the condition isn't very good. But I don't think, if I paid £90, which is complete in box for this game, and received it in this condition, I would not return it. And I'm like not overly fussy, but I am a little bit fussy. But I'm just going to show you what the game is, and that is Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. I am just over the moon to have this in the collection. I don't actually have the expansion pack yet, so I can't actually play it yet, but I will have to get one of them soon, because I've wanted to play this game for absolutely years. Now, as I said, this would normally cost £90 in CEX for the complete in-box version, but unboxed price is £45, and that is what I paid for this. Bearing in mind that £45 was with voucher, so split that 50% is £22.50, and I normally like to make a little bit more than 50%, so this pretty safely costs under £22.50, but it might well even have cost under £15, maybe even under £10, depends on what I traded in to get this. So although this doesn't look very good at the minute, with an iron and everything, this should actually look pretty nice. It just came with this old plastic black protector. There's a little bit of cracking on it, but it's just thin plastic protector, like they always crack. And here we have the cartridge. Now I have made sure this is all authentic and everything, just to make sure this, like, because I could not believe it. I had to check when I got back to the car from CEX, because I was just in such shock. But there is absolutely no damage on this at all. Like, the label is in absolutely like, amazing condition. Obviously, it's a gold cartridge, which wouldn't really fade anyway. Like, it's just in lovely condition. So yeah, I am just absolutely over the moon to have this in the collection. The next find was a Facebook Marketplace consisting of loads of really nice complete in box N64, Game Boy and also GameCube games. Today I have a really exciting video as I've had an awesome find on Facebook Marketplace. I have 13 games to show you ranging from Game Boy, N64 and GameCube. And all of these games are boxed and I've got some incredible stuff to show you here. So recently I was scrolling on Facebook Marketplace, as I do quite often, and I found this listing, which I'll show you now. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of boxed N64 games here, and these are individually priced, and I was really keen to pick some of these up because the price was really good. But when I went round, he ended up doing me a little bit of a deal, which was really appreciated. But as I was there, he also showed me some nice Game Boy games and also some GameCube games. So I'm really looking forward to showing you what I found in today's videos. I'm just so pleased with these pickups. The first game I'm going to show you is one that I was really keen on picking up, but this one is the only one that has got a different game inside, so I'll show you it now. So it's Racing Simulation Monaco Grand Prix. Now this box is in very nice condition, as you can see, and this is a game that I've really wanted to play at the minute. Like, I've really wanted to try this game out. I've seen, and I know a few people who have played this game and said it's really good, but I just wanted to play it for myself. But inside, and I can see why the person got confused, because these cartridges do look very similar, there is a racing game, but it's not actually this game, which I'll show you now. It sounds confusing, but I'll show you. So the game inside is World Driver on the N64. But he did also find the manual, so I now have a cartridge and manual of World Driver. And this is also a game that I've been wanting to try out as well, so this will be pretty cool to play. But he did this for £10 with the cartridge and manual for this game, and also the box for the Monaco racing game with its manual in really nice condition. Now it's only £6 in CEX to buy the loose cart to put in this, so I will be buying the loose cart at some point and having a complete in box version. And that's just because I've really been wanting to try out this game, so I will be getting this complete in box at some point. But it's still pretty cool to have the World Driver cartridge. That's meant to be a good racing game as well. But I just absolutely love the box art on this, and also this N64 magazine sticker. So this is just the box and manual for now, but hopefully will be complete in the future. Next up, and this is another boxed N64 game, and I've got quite a lot of boxed N64 games to show you. I actually have 8 in total, with 2 original Game Boy games and 3 GameCube games. So, some great pickups in today's video. And that is Lego Racers on the N64. Now this he actually ended up doing for a £5. So I'm so pleased to have this. This is a game that I really wanted to play. As you can see, it's a little bit crumpled on the end, but it's not too bad. When this is in a protector, it will look much better. But for only a £5, you really can't complain. Now, this game has actually got quite fond memories for me. My first ever Game Boy Color I got absolutely years and years ago came with Lego Racers. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what this is like on the N64. But I'm actually quite enjoying looking inside these games as I show you, because as I said, I've literally just got home from picking up this bundle. And I've only had a little quick look in these inside the person's house to see if they're in there and stuff. So I don't even know what condition these are like in myself, really. But as you can see, we have the cartridge here, and I think CEX are charging much more than a £5 for just this cartridge. I don't know though, but really look forward to playing this. And it's also got its little health and safety booklet, but it's got loads of stuff. So it's actually got this Lego Media Home, like, telephone number card. I don't really know what that is, but pretty cool. Obviously the manual here, which is a really big manual, but it's in really nice condition. It's wow, it's actually full colour as well. You don't get stuff like that in games anymore, do you? So that's really cool. And also a poster, which I have not looked at myself yet. So I'm going to be unfolding this on camera for the first time. But, oh my, that is so cool. As you can see, N64, PC and PlayStation this game was available on. I also had it on the Game Boy Color as well. I still do have it on the Game Boy Color. But yeah, this is absolutely awesome. Look at all the Lego games on the back as well. I wish they did that Legoland one on a home console. But yeah, this is a really cool little bonus to have. So absolutely loads of stuff inside that game. Really look forward to playing it and add it to the collection, and all that for just a £5. Next up, and to break up from the N64 games, I'm going to show you one of the Game Boy games, and this one is very cool, and that is Dr. Mario. Now, I have played this game, and it is really good. Such a fun puzzle game. Not as good as Tetris in my opinion, but still a very fun game. But that box art is just so cool. As you can see again, this box is a little bit crushed, but when this is in a protector, like, it looks better just when it's immediately shut. That would be forced shut in a protector. But it's actually in pretty good condition. Like, finding good condition original Game Boy games is pretty hard to find nowadays. And inside, this has got the manual and everything. It's pretty nice condition inside, actually. I remember the cartridge, when I gave it a quick check, was like really good condition. So I'm going to have to see if my cartridge is probably worse condition than that. So I will probably have to swap out my cartridge for that one as well. So I'm just so pleased to pick this up, and the box is nice on it as well, which was the most important part for me. Here we have the manual as well. That's in really nice condition. And also this really, really cool N64 little poster thing. I love finding stuff like that inside these boxes. Next up, and back to the N64 games, I have a game that I've heard really, really good things about, and that is Micro Machines 64 Turbo. Now, look at how cool that box is. I'm going to say that a lot on these games, but it's just so cool. And look at the Game Station sticker on the back as well. Now, this one doesn't have the manual, but I ended up only paying £10 for this game, which I think is an absolute bargain. I've got no idea what the prices are like on CEX. I've literally got home and filmed this video straight away so I can like get playing these games and stuff. But there is the cartridge. That's in pretty nice condition, actually. So very pleased to have that in good nick, obviously without the manual. But this game is more of a common N64 game. I think you could like find a spare manual on eBay for it if you wanted to make it properly complete in box. But I'm happy just to be able to play this one, because I'm really looking forward to it, actually. I played Micro Machines a lot on the GameCube, and it's a really good game on there. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing what it's like on the N64. Let me know if you have this one in your collection, and if you've played it, in the comments down below. Next up is a game that I do already have in the collection, and I purely bought this because the game is so good. I absolutely love this game, and I just could not resist buying another copy of it, and that is Hydro Thunder on the N64. Now, I only ended up paying £10 for this. It doesn't have the manual, it's just the cartridge and the box. I'll show you inside. I want to have a little look inside myself, actually, because like I said, I've only just had a quick look at these games, very quick, but now I'm home, I can have a proper good look inside. Here we have the cartridge. That is really nice, actually. That might well be nicer than my original copy, so I'll have to see if that one is in better condition. But just look at like this box. As you can see, it is a little bit damaged. It's not like in really good condition, but it's not too bad. Like I say, I just could not resist picking this game up again. Like, this game is so good. If you haven't played Hydro Thunder, I definitely recommend it. I think it's probably cheaper on the PS1, but I've never actually played it on the PS1. But the first time I played this game was at the Retro Replay in Norwich, and it's a really, really fun game. And I've been playing it on the N64 as well, and it's really good, so I would highly, highly recommend Hydro Thunder. Now again, to break up from the N64 games, I'm going to show you a different game, and that is a GameCube game. Now, I do already have this one in my collection, but my copy is in pretty rough condition. So first of all, I'm going to show you the game that I actually bought, and that is Need for Speed Underground 2. Now, the case and everything is so clean on this game. The disc is immaculate as well. And the manual, and that's why I really wanted it, was the manual is in such good condition. As I've just pulled my game off the shelf, I don't think my copy has got the manual. So yeah, it's just got the health and safety booklet inside. I don't think this disc is in particularly good condition. Yeah, that could be better. It's not too bad by any means, but this copy is definitely in better condition. So I'm probably going to be getting rid of this game. I'm probably going to give that to my friend who's just started collecting for GameCube. But I only paid £5 for this copy, and this is much cleaner and complete. So this is a great game to be going in the GameCube collection. If you're not familiar with the channel, I'm going for the full PAL GameCube set. So any games I find for the GameCube for like only £5 is good. But I'm really pleased to be adding this one to the collection in much better condition. Next up, I'm back to the N64 games again, and this game I picked up because I've heard some really, really good things about it, and I could not resist it for the price, and that is Blast Corps. As you can see, this box, it's not in too bad condition. It's just got quite a lot of sellotape on it, and I would not be very confident removing that, so it probably will be staying like this. But this was only a £5. And I just couldn't resist. It's like, they say more on the Facebook listing, but the person was giving me some really good deals there, and I could not resist. Like, I was picking it up, and it was a tenner, and he said you could just take that one for a £5 on a few of these games, and like, I just cannot resist. As you can see, this cartridge is in really nice condition as well. No manual on this one, but again, this game is more common than other N64 games, so I do think you would have like a decent chance of finding this manual somewhere. But I'm really pleased to be having this in the collection. I've heard people say this is a really good game. And it's also developed by Rareware as well, who makes some really good games, including Diddy Kong Racing, which is one of my favourite N64 games. So I'm really, really looking forward to be playing this one. Not so much for the collection, but this is probably the game that I'm most looking forward to playing, because I've heard some really good things. But if you've played Blast Corps, again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Next up is another N64 game, and I'm not overly keen on this game. The only reason I picked this up is the condition of it is just so good, and that is WCW NWO Revenge. Now, I am not into wrestling at all. Like, wrestling does nothing for me personally. But apart from this little bend on the corner, this is in, like, absolutely incredibly good condition. Like, I don't see this good condition N64 games very often at all. And I paid just £10 for this. I just could not resist picking this up. I will get around to playing this at some point. It's just not, like, overly high on my games to play list. But I'm still really pleased to have this. I will play it at some point, because I definitely want to give it a go. I don't play many wrestling games, as I said, so this one will get a play at some point, but this is in really good condition. The manual does have a little bit of wear, but it's mainly about the outside box for me, and that is just really nice. And here we have the cartridge as well, and that is also in really nice condition. Yeah, as I said, I won't be playing this game particularly anytime soon, but just for the condition and how cool this is, for £10, this was definitely coming home with me. Really pleased with this one. Next up is another GameCube game, and I paid a £5 for this one as well. I paid £5 each for all 3 GameCube games. And this is a really good looking game, as I love my racing games, and that is World Racing. Now, I don't know much about this one, but looking at the back, I think this is a Mercedes-based racing game, which is completely random. I think you can just get Mercedes on here. You'll have to correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not 1000% sure on that, but I think that's right. But this game is actually out of stock in CEX, so this is definitely a rare one. And as you can see, it's in really good complete condition as well. And those are my favourite games to add to the GameCube full set. Obviously, like, with going for the full set, you've got to get every game. And the games that are out of stock in CEX are oftentimes some of the rarer and hard to find games. So this one was a really, really good one to tick off the list. And also one that I'm really looking forward to playing. Next up is one of my favourite pieces from the entire bundle. And that is Choplifter 2 on the original Game Boy. Now, this was another one of the things. The original Game Boy games weren't on Facebook. These are actually, like, on the floor in the corner. And I said, are those games going to be for sale? And he said, yes. And I ended up paying £15 for this. And the condition on this, for an original Game Boy game, is, like, so good. I'm so pleased with this. The main, like, worst bit of the box is there. There's a tiny dent. But, I mean, that doesn't bother me at all. It hasn't creased up the box hardly at all. So, really pleased with this. And I love collecting for the original Game Boy. And this is a hard to find game. I have never seen this game. I haven't checked this on CEX, see if it's in stock or not. I literally just checked a couple of these just before I started recording. So I don't know if CEX actually even have any copies of this. And I've got no idea how much they're charging for it. But this copy is just in such good condition, as I said. Here is the cartridge. It's actually in one of these Game Boy protectors, which is really nice. And that is in good condition as well. A little bit of fading, but that is actually in pretty nice condition. We also have a really good condition manual, which is really nice to see. I do like to pick up these games complete where I can. Some of these aren't complete, but for the prices, I just couldn't resist. I like to pick up games complete, but when they're that good prices, I just can't resist, sometimes not. But also, just open this box. It does also come with a poster. Oh, look at how cool that is. I didn't even really notice that was in there when I picked this up, so that is a really good little bonus. And this is one of those games where I've never ever seen any footage of this game. I don't know anyone that's played it, so I just have no clue what this is like. So if you've played this game, you'll have to let me know anything about it in the comments down below. That does look like a rip in the box. That is just a little bit of leftover sticker, so that should come off absolutely fine. But after that, this is just in such good condition. Next up, and this is the last GameCube game I've got to show you, but this is still another one that I need for the full set. Not one that I'll probably get around to playing anytime soon, as I'm not into the franchise, but it was a really good price at just a £5. And that is The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. Now, I have heard some really good things about this game, it's just I'm not overly into Lord of the Rings. But inside, this is in really good condition yet again. The manual's got a tiny bit of wear, but that's absolutely fine. The disc, which is the main thing, is in very good condition. And this is one that I will play at some point, as I said, just not anytime soon. But when you're going for the GameCube full set, to be able to buy games like this for just a £5 is really, really good find. The next one was where I went to Ipswich and did a bit of game hunting in the charity shops and cash converters and found some absolutely amazing stuff to trade in to CEX. So I'm going to Ipswich to do some game hunting, but today's video is all about Ipswich CEX and also the charity shops, as I found some really, really good stuff in both the charity shops and cash converters to trade into CEX. Some really, really cheap games that turned out to have a lot of value. Now, I've already traded those into CEX, so you'll be seeing that footage as we go along in the footage of the shops. Let's go to Ipswich. So here I am in the charity shop, and this is how much the games were.
They're free each, those ones.
Free, thank you. As you can see here, I'm having a look through. I picked out Forza 6 on the Xbox One, but if I zoom in, as you can see, there is a crazy game there. And that game is absolutely insane. Transformers Devastation on the PS4. Now, I didn't actually know the value of this when I bought it. I bought it thinking it might trade in for a bit, or I'll keep it. But look at this. Just bought Transformers Devastation for £3 from that charity shop a minute ago, and I think this trades in for £32, so I'm going to go and take it now and see if it does. But just before I headed into CEX, I had a little look in the cash converters. I don't often buy anything from here. I don't find the Ipswich cash converters to be the best one, but today I had a really, really good find. But not to keep, again, another good find to trade into CEX. Now, I didn't actually buy anything to keep for my collection in here today. I purely bought these things to trade into CEX. And as you can see, they had some quite good stuff, but it was just a little bit too expensive. But if we look at this top cabinet here, they had some really nice bundles of PS4 games for only £7 each. So I looked at the bottom one because I thought that was pretty good. You got South Park, The Fractured Butthole, Watch Dogs 2, The Crew 2, some pretty good games. And for only £7, I thought that was a bargain. So I asked to have a look at both bundles, and I was looking at both the games, and they actually said you can mix and match and make your own bundle if you want to. So they actually let me do that, and then they said, because there was 5 games in each bundle, so they said, pick whatever 5 games that you want to have, and then they said we can do a fiver on them if you want. So I picked out 5 games for £5, and then took them to CEX. And the value of these games as well was really, really good. But here I am, just looking at the rest of the shelves. You'll have to let me know if there's anything like sticking out to you in the comments, if there's anything you think I missed or anything. I don't think that I did, but again, I'm always looking for tips and stuff when I'm out game hunting for stuff that I might have missed. But now, let's take a quick look at what I actually got from Cash Converters. So I just bought all these from Cash Converters, and all these worked out to be £5, only £1 each. And I think they're giving you like £4 or £5 for quite a few of these, so I'm going to take these to CEX now along with that Transformers game. So here I am walking up to CEX, and as you know from watching the video, I've got quite a few bits to trade, but there's also 2 GameCube games that I would like to have a look at in this CEX. I did look at like the box N64 box, Game Boy and stuff. There was nothing that really caught my eye. They didn't actually have much retro in at the time, so I didn't get overly much footage. But like I said, there was a couple of GameCube games I wanted to have a look at, but I still thought it was worth popping in because I had so much trading to do. As you can see, here I am in the glass cabinets. Now, let me know if there's anything that you can see that you would add to your collection in the comments down below. I thought that this was a pretty nice sleeve cover, but it is one that I already have in my collection. And as you can see, here is the GameCube section. I only bought 1 game from here. There was 2 games I needed. I needed that UFC game, but that was really scratched, unfortunately. So I got some pretty nice pickups from Ipswich today, but the best things were to trade. But I did also get a pretty cool GameCube game as well. But before I show you today's pickups, let's take a look at these receipts and see what I got for all of these games. So next up we have the games that I bought from Cash Converters, 5 games for £5. Now I don't actually know why they did this, but they priced some of them at 120 and some of them at 80p for some reason. But you see, top one we have Crew 2, Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain. Then moving down we have South Park: The Fractured Butthole and The Sims 4. And then the bottom one was again South Park: The Fractured Butthole. And in a minute I'll show you how much I actually got for all of these games. Oh yeah, as you can see, for total £5. And in a minute I'll show you how much I got. So here we have the receipt, and the top thing is a portable DVD player. That is just completely random. That is just something that I had kicking around for years. I have used it quite a lot, but didn't really need it anymore. But I didn't realise I'd get a £24 voucher for it. So I was really pleased with that. As you can see, if you just ignore The Sims 4 for now, Transformers Devastation, £32 voucher. So that was brilliant. So we have The Sims 4, and these were all essentially £1 each in Cash Converters. So I got £8 for The Sims 4, £8 for The Crew 2, £4 and £4 for 2 copies of South Park: The Fractured Butthole, and £4 for Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain. So as you can see, the portable DVD player was £24, so the total was £84. If you take away £24 from that, that's £60, and that £60 voucher came from just £5 in Cash Converters and £3 in the charity shop. And that is just really, really good, and that is how I'm able to afford these pretty expensive retro games. Just by doing things like this, Carboots, charity shops, anywhere I can find stuff like this. And like I say, £84 voucher, and even if you include the portable DVD player, I can remember buying that from a Carboot absolutely years ago for just a £5 anyway. So if you add a £5 onto that, so let's say 5, 5 and 3 is 13 into £84 voucher. So yeah, really, really pleased with that one. The next find was one of my favourites, and that was a huge garage sale find. A massive, massive bundle of games that only cost only 50p each. Today I have a video that I'm really, really looking forward to showing you, as I've had one of my craziest garage sale finds I've ever had. I've bought over 55 games in a really nice box console for a really, really, really cheap price. But now let me get started on showing you this bundle, as there is a lot of stuff to show you here. So I got to this store and they had all these boxes of games out on the floor, and I could tell there was some really, really good stuff there, and they'd only just put the boxes down. And then I was looking through at the consoles and stuff, and the consoles looked a little bit bad, to be honest. There was just one console that I was interested in the box. But I really liked the look of a lot of the games that they had. I asked how much the games were, and they said 50p each, which is absolutely crazy. So I'm going to put a little bit of footage in now of what I managed to get with some footage, because if I wasn't quick, I definitely would have missed out. So footage was not my main priority, but I did manage to get just a little bit. So here I have a little bit of footage of the find. As you can see, not too much footage, but you can see some of the games that I picked up here. But this isn't even near all of them, because I picked out so many more games out of these boxes. That one at the back there was still shut. I hadn't even opened that one at this point. But yeah, some very, very good stuff in these boxes. But now let's head back and check them out. So yeah, as you can see, absolutely crazy. And like I said, 55 games, about 55 to 60 games to show you. And also a really nice boxed console, which judging by the footage, you'll probably know what it is. And I paid only £70 for everything, which is absolutely crazy. And the value here is absolutely insane. So as you can see by the footage, it was mainly older stuff, PS2 and sort of PS1 sort of stuff. But there was actually quite a few modern games in there as well. I prefer the older stuff, but I'm not going to complain finding new games. But all of these games here you see are actually empty cases, but they just threw these in for free, and there's some really good cases here. So the first one is Minecraft from the Xbox 360. You can never have enough Minecraft copies of Minecraft. They trade in for quite a good amount. But as you can see, sadly these were not in there because these are all Switch cases. There was actually one Switch game that was in there that I'll show you in a bit, and I actually got a Switch game for 50p, which is insane. And also, strangely enough, one PS5 game, which I'll also show you in a bit as well. But it's mainly PS2, PS1, PS3 as well. Also Xbox, Xbox 360, and also some complete in-box Master System and Mega Drive games, and also some loose Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games. So as I said, absolutely crazy bundle. But these are some Switch cases as I have here, as I said. So we have Animal Crossing, what's this one called? New Horizons, that's it. Really good game, that is. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, again, would have been amazing if these were in there, but can't complain about having some free cases. Pokemon Sword, another nice case to have. A really good game this is, I loved this when I played it. Rayman Legends, this is the definitive edition. No idea what makes it actually definitive, not really sure. And also Little Friends, Dogs and Cats. As I said, none of these are actually in there, these are all empty cases. But these are some really nice cases to have in the collection, because I'm hoping to be able to find some loose copies of these games and complete them on the cheap. So I'm just going to have to get started on the first stack, as you can see here. I'm not going to go in any particular order. This is all PS2 stuff, but there is more PS2 stuff coming up as we go along. Not sure what I'm going to do with these games yet. When I'm filming this, I've only found them quite recently, so I'm not really sure on a lot of the values. If there's any with a particular value, I'll stick a CEX screenshot up, but I'm going to go quite quickly through these, because as I said, there's a lot of games to show you, and also the console. So we have GTA San Andreas, one of my favourite GTAs after Vice City, because I do absolutely love Vice City. Next up we have Crash Bandicoot, The Wrath of Cortex. Pretty cool game there. Good game. I played it on the GameCube and also the PS2. Need for Speed Underground 2. This is actually a £15 game, which I didn't sort of realise it was that expensive, so that was a really good one to find. Star Wars Jedi Starfighter. I've heard really bad things about this game. No idea if it's any good or not. I've never actually played it myself. I love this next game. Bit of a Crazy Taxi rip-off, but still great. Simpsons Road Rage. I think this might be like a £7-8 game now. I'm not sure. I know it's got a little bit of value. Final Fantasy 12 on the PS2. Great game. I've already got that one in the collection, but still a good one. And the best thing about these PS2 games is, well, I'd never go out of my way and spend like £8 on Simpsons Road Rage if I've already got it on the GameCube. But for 50p, I'll definitely have it. X-Men 2 Wolverine's Revenge. Played that on the GameCube, and it's a pretty solid game. No one really talks about the X-Men games, but I think they're quite good, personally. The Herbs Sims in the City. I forgot to say, some of the games that I picked out and actually bought for 50p each are not great games. There's a few that are absolutely worthless, but the trouble is I had to go so fast because there were so many people who desperately wanted to buy these games. And also in the last one, this stack is Mercenaries on the PS2. Never actually played this one. But some really good titles there for only 50p each. But believe me, these are not the best games in the bundle. So I change up a little bit now, leave the rest of the PS2 stuff and do some PS3 games you can see here. And there are some great titles here, some really nice ones. I do have quite a good plan for some of these games. I'm not going to be adding any of these to the collection because I don't collect for the PS3 anymore. But I have got a plan for these games. And this isn't the last of these games that you're going to see on the channel, because in the future these games will definitely be back on the channel, because I've got quite a good idea to use these for something, a particular project, but there's some great games here. So we have Transformers Dark of the Moon. Now I know some of the PS3 Transformer games got quite good value. I think this one might be like a £7-8 game. But again, 50p is brilliant. Lego Marvel Superheroes. Homefront on the PS3. I don't think that one's worth anything, but I've heard it's quite a good game, so I thought 50p I'll pick it up. This one, when I was collecting for the PS3, I was looking for absolutely years, but not been able to find a good copy. But now I've found one, now I've stopped collecting, and that was Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit. I've heard really good things about the Dragon Ball games on PS3. I am tempted to keep this one, but I don't collect for PS3, and I know if I keep this, I'm going to end up keeping like loads more PS3 stuff and be back where I started with a huge PS3 collection, so I'm not going to be keeping it in the collection, but I am keeping it for now because, again, you will be seeing these games again. So we have Guitar Hero Warriors of Rock, one of the best Guitar Hero games in my opinion. Then we have the Lego Movie video game here. Next up, Rayman Origins on the PS3 Essentials label. I know people are going mad for these PS3 Essentials games at the minute. Yeah, never played Rayman Origins. I've played Rayman Legends, but never Origins. Then we have Lego Batman the video game here. Again, not particularly worth anything, but still a cool game. But look at that stack of games there for only 50p each. It's absolutely brilliant. So now I'm going to show you some of the retro stuff, as we can see here. Some really cool games in this stack here. The first one isn't the best game in the world, just one of the games that I had to pick up because it was just such a mad rush, but that is Brain Training on the DS. Literally worth about 20p, but I picked it up. It was just crazy, so I had to. But the next game, this is pretty cool to find, an original Game Boy game for 50p, and that is Dr. Mario. Worth surprisingly little, but a game that I absolutely love. Really good little puzzle game, that is. Now, this label is very damaged, but I have tested the game and it does actually work, and that is a loose Mega Drive game, and that is Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Absolutely brilliant game is Sonic 3. Really enjoyed that one. Again, label is pretty damaged. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but for 50p, knew I had to pick it up. Now, here we have the Mega Drive and Master System games. Nothing crazy here, but to pick up box Sega games for 50p each is just brilliant. So the first one is Mega Games 1. Okay, as I said, these aren't crazy titles, but they're just so nice to pick up so cheap. Then we have Sonic the Hedgehog on the Mega Drive, a pretty common one, obviously. But I just wanted to show you inside this one. The manual's not in the best condition, but to pick up such a great, iconic game for 50p, complete in box, it's just absolutely brilliant. Then a couple of Master System games. We have Sonic the Hedgehog 2 there, a really, really good game on the Master System. Really enjoyed playing that one. And finally, again, I've never played on the Master System, and that is Populous. But it does look pretty cool. I have played it on the PS1, and it's pretty good, so I can imagine it's going to be good on the Master System. But this one is complete in box as well. So as I said, not crazy titles, but proper retro for that cheap is really good to see. A few more cartridge bits here. So I have a PS2 memory card, which was actually just inside one of the games where you can store them in the top of the PS2 case. So that was pretty good to find. I'm going to keep that because you can never have enough memory cards. Next up is Driver 2 on the Game Boy Advance. I do not have this one in the collection. I've since played it on the DS Lite, and it's a really good game. So that one is definitely going to be added to the collection. I'm really pleased with that one. Next up is one that I already have in the collection, but is a great game, and that is Simpsons Road Rage on the Game Boy Advance. Again, mainly played on the GameCube for me, but I've played it on the GBA, and it's really good on the GBA. Obviously pretty simple, but a really good little game. And finally, and this was the only game for this console that I found, but I was pretty pleased to find it, and that is an Atari 2600 game of Riddle of the Sphinx. Now, I know absolutely nothing about Atari. All I know is it needs a very good clean, but not worth overly much. I checked out on eBay, but I'm going to be adding that to the collection because I thought it was pretty cool. So I actually only picked up a few Xbox 360 games, as you can see here, and this game's also the PS5 game that I pulled out of there. No idea why there was a PS5 game in there, but there's also one Switch game that was in there as well, which I'll show you in a bit. Not a great title, but still a Switch game for 50p. But these three are quite good titles, I think. I think these are pretty good. And again, I'm really excited to show you this PS5 game, so I'll show you that one first. Spider-Man Miles Morales. At a garage sale, in a box, literally just thrown in there for 50p. It's all in there. The disc is in pretty good condition as well. I've got to say, to be fair, all of these discs are in pretty good condition. Some of them are lightly scratched, but considering they were on the floor on someone's grass at a garage sale, these discs are in pretty good condition. And I think this is a £15 game as well, so a really good one to find. The first 360 game isn't that great, but the other two are pretty good. So I have Time Shift on the 360. This game for some reason just really intrigued me. I've never played it and I don't collect for 360. But I am just going to give this one a quick go just because it sort of intrigued me. Thought for 50p I might as well. The next game is Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. I think this game is worth about a fiver, so a pretty good one to see. And this next game I thought was cool because you see this game all the time, but this is the Game of the Year edition. And that is Fable 2 on the Xbox 360. Now, when I used to collect for 360 quite a lot, I actually did play Fable 2, and it was a really good game. So I thought the Game of the Year edition is going to be pretty cool. I'm not going to add it to my collection, because again, if I keep one 360 game, I will end up with a huge 360 collection again, and I haven't got the space to do that. But it is in really good condition and complete in box, and this game will be going to the side with a lot of these other ones for my future project, and you will be seeing these games on the channel again in the future. So let's get back to some more PS2 stuff. As you can see here, some pretty good titles in here as well. This top one is quite cool, and I really do like the artwork on the front of this, and that is GTA Vice City. But this came out of like the double pack, so it's got this quite nice artwork on the front. Now I do already have this one, but I thought 50p, I'm still going to pick it up. This next one, this was a £10 game in CX, which I was quite surprised about. 50 cent Bulletproof. Never played a 50 cent game. Doesn't really intrigue me, to be honest. It's not really my sort of thing. I might give it a go at some point. This next game is one that I do have, and it's a great game. And that is Gran Turismo 3. Great game there. Really good racing game. Then I also have Hitman 2 on the Platinum range. And also Hitman Blood Money there. Pretty good games, the Hitman games. Played them on the GameCube. This next game was one that I was really happy to see. And that is The Simpsons Hit and Run. And I will show you the condition of this one. This is on the Platinum range, as you can see, but it does have the manual, and the disc is really, really clean, which is good to see. Now, Simpsons Hit and Run is such a good game on the GameCube. I played it, and I probably am going to keep the PS2 version as well, just because it's such a good one. But I was also pleased to see this in the bundle, because I have another copy of Need for Speed 2 on the PS2. Now, I don't think this one has the manual, so I might trade this one in and keep the complete one to the side. Yeah, this one isn't complete, but the disc is in good condition. And then SmackDown vs Raw on the PS2. Not really into wrestling, but I'll probably give it a quick go at some point. Again, a lot of these games I would never go out and spend like a fiver on or whatever they are, but it's just good to play them for only 50p each. And again, I don't think this one has the manual. No, this one isn't complete, but it's Judge Dredd on the PS2. And I have it on the GameCube, and it's a great game. Next up, and a few random games here. So I got Grand Theft Auto on the PS1. This isn't the American version, it's literally just the disc and the manual for it in the CD case. But I thought to be able to play the original GTA for 50p, I've got to pick it up. The next game is on the original DS, and this is a game that I've played a lot, and that is Toy Story 3. Really good game for only 50p. And finally, the Switch game. Again, it's not a crazy title, but it was the only one that was actually in there, and that is Just Dance 2020. Now, it's really cool to see a Switch game at a garage sale that's, you know, affordable and that. You see no insert or anything, but the cartridge is in there. And I think this is like a £10 game, something like that. Not crazy, but a Switch game for 50p is pretty cool to find. So as I said, a lot of these games are in good condition, and this is the stack here where the discs are just a little bit scratched. Not too bad, but ones that I wouldn't want to add to my own collection, and I'm probably going to get resurfaced if I want to, you know, keep them in my collection. So we have Who Wants to Be a Millionaire on the PS1. Not a crazy title, it's actually been recased, because you see, it's got a big crack in the case, but I used this good case on a game that I'm keeping in the collection, which I'll show you at the end, a PS1 game that I've wanted for a long time. Next up, Action Bass on the PS1. Never played a fishing game. I don't think I've ever played a fishing game anyway. John Woo Presents Stranglehold on the 360. This is in really bad condition. As you see, it's all peeling at the back there. Next up, in a steelbook. It's a little bit rusty, but it's still a steelbook of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and this is the 360 version. Pretty cool to see a steelbook there. The next game is also not in the best condition, and that is The Last Remnant. A really cool RPG. I did used to have this in my 360 collection. Really good little game. Next up, and this is a really random game, Rugby 2004. Age of Empires 2. Again, these are just lightly scratched, nothing particular. Then we have Pirates of the Caribbean on Black Label. And then also Pirates of the Caribbean on Platinum. Next up, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory on the PS2. I think I have this game on the Game Boy Advance. Pretty good little game, actually. It looks terrible, but it's actually quite fun. And finally in this stack, Snowboard Racer 2. And the final stack of games, as you can see here, are all games that I'm definitely keeping in my collection that don't need cleaning up or anything. They're all in really good condition, ready to keep. And the top one is a PS1 game, then a 3DS, 360, and all PS2 stuff. Now, I know I said I don't collect for 360, and that's not strictly true. The only Xbox 360 stuff I do collect is sort of like the stuff that has something a bit extra, like an outer sleeve or a bigger box or a bonus disc or something like that. Just so I can have a few 360 games, but not like have loads because I haven't got the room to do it. But this game is TNA Impact on the 360, quite a common game normally. But inside, it has a really nice poster on the left here. As you can see, I've folded it out. It's quite nice. It's in good nick as well. And here we have the game disc here, as you can see. But inside, it also has a bonus DVD. Now, I'm not really sure what it's about. I guess it's maybe the making of the game or about the wrestling at the time. I know nothing about wrestling. I'm not into it at all. But I just thought that this was a pretty cool little bonus copy of the game to have. And it's not really worth anything either, so I am going to keep this in the collection because I thought it was quite cool. The 3DS game that I'm keeping is nothing crazy, and that is FIFA 13, but it was the only 3DS game that I actually found at the garage sale. Pretty cool to see a 3DS game, don't see them overly often, so I was quite pleased with that. But the next PS2 games, and there's some pretty good titles here, and these are all in really good condition. So we have Time Crisis 3, really good little game. I've played this around someone's house, but never had my own copy of it. And inside, as you can see, it's in really good condition, complete with a manual. And I think this is like at least a £5 game, so a really good one to find nice and cheap. Next up, Ace Combat Squadron Leader. Really cool little game this is. I've never played this on the PS2. I've played Ace Combat on the PS1, but I've searched up some footage and it looks like a really cool little game. Next up is a game that I have played, and I thought I had this in the collection, but I don't. And that is Dynasty Warriors 4. But I do feel like I've played this somewhere, so whether I've played someone else's copy or... I'm not really sure. I swear I've played it, but I can't find it in my collection, so at least for now I am keeping it in my collection. Next up is a game that I've never played, but I'm definitely going to get round to playing this one, and that is Devil May Cry. I've heard really good things about the series, so I'm looking forward to checking that out. Again, if you know anything about these games I'm keeping, let me know what one should I play first and stuff. Rayman M on the PS2, a game that I really should have had before, but finally have in the collection now. Nice to find it for 50p as well. Next up, Crashed on the PS2. Just another crazy looking car game, and I love my car games, so that was a no-brainer to keep. Then we have Jumper Griffin's Story. I know absolutely nothing about that, but I like the cover art on it. And finally, a game that I can't believe I didn't have in my PS2 collection, Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. I have it on the GameCube, but don't have it on the PS2, so I'm going to keep that one as well. And the final game, before I show you the console, is a PS1 game I've wanted for a long time. And this doesn't have the manual, which is a shame, but it is a pretty cool game. And that is Grand Theft Auto London Mission Pack on the PS1. Now this is in a different case. I recased it with a Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, as you can see by the Win 1 Million sticker there, which I will take off. But this case was really cracked. But it's actually in decent condition. Now the disc is really nice on it. The disc is in really good condition. As I said, no manual, but the actual artwork and inlay are in pretty nice condition. So it's really good to see. As I've been after this for a long time, but you don't see it very often. Would I like to have it with a manual? Yes, but I think you're paying about £15 for a copy with the manual. So I'd much rather save £14.50 and not have a manual than pay 15 quid with the manual. And that is definitely my favourite game I'm keeping from this bundle. If you've played it, let me know what it's like in the comments. And the final thing from this bundle, and again, in with the £70, it was £70 for everything. And that is this Master System 2 complete in box with all of the inserts, all of the paperwork and everything like that. And in pretty good condition. Obviously the box isn't going to be in really good condition. There is a little bit of damage on the back, but the front of the box is really, really nice. Now they wanted £40 for this, and I just said yes straight away to this. I thought, I can't not buy this for 40 quid. Now I collect for Nintendo, PlayStation, Neo Geo and Atari. And my dad collects exclusively for Sega. And I knew that he already had this Master System 2 and the Sonic pack in his collection. But I knew that the box was in pretty rough condition. So what he's going to do is I'm going to give him this for his collection. He's going to give me the Master System back that is in worse condition. And I'm going to sell that for probably nearly 70 quid, if not a little bit more than 70 quid. So I'm hoping at some point, all of these games that I've just shown you will be pretty much free. Which is crazy, because there is multiple £20 games there. A lot of value. But this box, as you can see, is pretty nice, and nicer than the one that he has in his collection. It was all complete inside of its paperwork, as I said. But obviously, I had no guarantee that it works. Yeah, I'm happy that this is all working to start with. But now I'm going to put a cartridge in it and make sure that it actually, like, properly works. Because obviously, I'm not even tested to see if it reads games yet. But to start with, seems pretty good. So this bundle came with a few Master System games, and I'm going to be testing Sonic 2 with it right now. Just to make sure that all the pins are working, it's all connecting fine. So I've now plugged in the cartridge. Let's see if this one works as well. Software error. That don't seem very good. I'll clean the cartridge and hope that it's the cartridge and not the console. So I've just took the cartridge away and cleaned it with a little cotton bud, and the amount of dirt that was coming off these pins, it's like completely black now. So I'm now going to plug this back into the console, and I'm going to hope that that's the issue, because that cartridge would never have read being that dirty. So let's hope that that helps it now. Sega, come on. This is looking better. I absolutely love the original Sonic 2 as well. I like the Mega Drive version a lot, it's brilliant, but I've always loved the Master System version. Yes, this is looking good. Again, obviously the image that you're seeing is a little bit blurry, but it looks fine in real life. So as you can see, it all works, it's all in really good condition, and this will be an awesome addition to his collection, because I know that his box is pretty rough. So for him to be able to upgrade it to this one is a big win for his collection, and also a big win for my collection. The next one was when I went to a garage sale actually on holiday, and I found some very, very nice PS1 games for only £1 each. And then later that day went to a charity shop and found some other PS1 games for only £1 each. Today, as you can see, is a bit of a different video because I'm in a completely different spot, and that is because I'm in a completely different place. Now, at the time of recording, I'm actually on holiday. By the time you see this, I would have got home, but at the minute I'm on holiday, I managed to get to a few different charity shops, a Carboot, and also a garage sale, and found some really, really good stuff. Now, oddly enough, a lot of PS1 stuff, so if you like PS1 games, you'll like this video. So, it's really, really random how many PS1 games I found. So, I've got 3 different sort of lots of finds to show you, 2 charity shop and 1 garage sale find. The other Carboot finds I'm going to show you in another video, because today's video is going to be mainly PS1 stuff. The last find is definitely the best one, so stay tuned to see the last find at the end, but I've got them all laid out in front of me, so I'm just going to start, so don't want to waste too much time. The first find is a PS1 game, just one random game, and it's nothing crazy, it was only £1 and I had to pick it up, but like I said, stay tuned till the end, because I managed to add some games to my collection for very, very cheap on the PS1 that I've been looking for years, and not been able to find a copy for a good price, and there's some crazy games here. So the first game I've got to show you again, nothing crazy, a bit of a cracked case as well, and that is Scrabble on the PS1, but I just cannot resist picking up a PS1 game in a charity shop for only £1. I'd actually been to quite a few charity shops this day and not found anything, so I thought, for £1 I'm just going to buy it. Nothing crazy there at all, not really sure I'm going to do with it either, I can't remember if I've already got it or not. But the next find is some PS1 and also some PS2 games. Now this was a charity shop find. I have footage of both of these other finds, the charity shop and garage sale find, but I'm going to show you that footage near the end of the video, because otherwise it gives away all of the games that I got. So I've got quite a stack to show you here, PS1, PS2 and 1 random 360 game. So I'm just going to start from the top again. I'll start with like the lesser games and get better as we go on, because there's some decent games here. First one, Toka Touring Car Championship. I absolutely love this game. I know I've already got this one in the collection, but again, these are only £1 each, so I could not resist picking it up. Now, I'll just show you inside. This is complete and in pretty good condition. The inlay is out, but that's fine. As you can see, disc and also manual in good condition. Now, the next game is a brilliant racing game, and that is Gran Turismo. Now, I know that this is in much better condition than mine, so I was really pleased to find this. I think this is like an £8 game, maybe a £10 game, I'm not sure. Black label, complete and boxed in really good condition, so was pleased to find that again for £1 each, like really, really good. And I went to this charity shop right near the end of the day, and these were still sitting there. I don't know if like they had like loads of people in during the day and managed to put stuff out near the day when it was quieter. But either way, I'm not complaining. Great games for just £1 each, so yeah. The next 2 games are nothing crazy, so we have FIFA 99 here, big crack in the case on that one, but this other case is in good condition, that is FIFA 2001. These are both complete, I believe these are both complete, I think they were when I checked. Yeah, FIFA 99 complete, all these discs are in really good condition. To be fair, all of the games that I've got shown in this video all seem to be in really good condition, which is quite lucky. Again, some of the cases are cracked, but they always are with PS1 games, you can't really like get away from that. Again, that one's complete as well, good condition, so pleased with that. I know people sort of like don't like FIFAs, but I do really enjoy a FIFA game. Just because it's a cheap game doesn't mean it's not a fun one, you know. So the next game is pretty good. This is another game that I know I already have in the collection, but mine is no manual and I know that the discs are really scratched. And that is Oddworld Abe's Exodus. Again, right near the end of the day at a charity shop, and it was literally still sitting there, so over the moon to find that. I was not expecting it. This case is in pretty good condition apart from a very, very small crack there. It will be harder to replace because it's a double disc case, but I'll show you the manual in a minute. But both discs are in there, both in really good condition as well. And then the manual, and this is quite cool because it's got the manual in good condition, as you can see here, no rips or tears or anything. But it's also got this little controller sheet that you can take out as well, which is pretty cool. So this is like a proper complete and boxed copy, and again, I've had this game for years, it's a great game, I've played it, but I know that mine is pretty rough, so to get a condition upgrade like that for only £1 is brilliant, so really pleased with that. The next games are nothing too crazy on the PS2, but again, you've got to stay tuned for that last time because it was awesome. But as you can see, stack of games here. I'll show you the 360 game first. Batman Arkham City. I think this is like a £1.50 game, but I just couldn't resist picking it up. Next up, and this is a game that I'm very intrigued to play, and that is And One on the PS2. It's And One Street Ball. I had never seen this before. It was only £1 again, they're all £1 each. I think in CEX it's £2.50, so not a crazy valuable game, but it's in good condition. And it's just one that I've never seen before, so I'm quite intrigued about it. I'm just looking on the back, and that looks pretty decent. If you've played that one, you have to let me know what it's like in the comments. The next game is a game that I played on the Xbox 360, but never on the PS2, and that is Just Cause. Never got too far into the game, so I'm not really sure what it's about, because I've played a couple of hours of it, nothing crazy. But it's complete, decent condition as well. Again, I'll say again, these discs, considering that they're in charity shops and garage sales and stuff, are all in really good condition, which I'm really pleased with. 50 Cent Bulletproof, is that, yeah, 50 Cent Bulletproof, never played a 50 Cent game, but this is in good condition as you can see, and this is a £10 game in CEX, so that was a good find. And the final one in this charity shop file was a PS2 game I've never seen. I'm not into the franchise though, so it might be a common game, I just may have seen it but not realised, but that is Warhammer 40,000 Fire Warrior. Again, I know nothing about Warhammer, not really my sort of thing, but I think the game does look pretty cool. £6 in CEX this one, and this one is complete and in really good condition, so yeah, for just £1, there was no way I was leaving it there. So that wasn't the best find, but still very, very good, because the last find is absolutely brilliant. So as I said, went to a few garage sales, and this stall didn't really look like it had anything in particular, but this person got a bag out, and it was just one of these big old laundry bags you see, really, really big bag. And it was full of like mugs and china and really random stuff. But there was a lot of PS1 games in there. And they only wanted £1 each, which is absolutely brilliant. But the first thing is not a PS1 game. I did also pull it out of that bag, but it's not a PS1 game. Funnily enough, they were in a big bag, but everything was priced up. It looked really disorganised, but everything had price stickers on. So I'm not going to complain about that because they were cheap. So the first game is an original Game Boy game, loose, as you can see here. It is an American copy, but for only 50p, which is what this was, I was never going to leave it there. Super Mario Land. An absolutely brilliant game to pick up for only 50p. Like I said, it is an American copy, but I believe on the original Game Boy that would still work absolutely fine. Now, I do have my copy in the box and in good condition, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my cartridge back in the box and just keep this one out to use. So I said the label is pretty damaged, as you can see there, but for only 50p, there was no way I was leaving it there. Really pleased with that. And the other two things, and they only charged me 50p for both of these, is just two PS1 memory cards. So you can see they're not in the greatest condition, but you can never have enough memory cards, so I was pleased to grab those. But as you can see, there is a lot of games to show you here. I've got a stack. I think that there is 11 PS1 games here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 11 PS1 games, all for just £1 each. There's some titles in there that aren't the best, but there's some really, really good titles in there. So the first game I'll show you again, I'll start with like the worst ones and get to the really good ones at the end. So we have Gran Turismo on Platinum, second Gran Turismo in this video. This one doesn't have a manual. Most of the games do have manuals, to be fair. This one doesn't. On Platinum again, as you can see, but no way I was leaving it for £1, obviously. And the second game is the third copy of Gran Turismo here, as you can see. Really random how I've managed to find 3 copies of Gran Turismo, but this one does actually have the manual, and it's in decent condition as well, as you can see here. I don't have this game on Platinum, and I do love Gran Turismo, so I'm sort of tempted to keep a Platinum copy as well, but either way, for £1, I was obviously going to grab it. Now, the next games are some I don't know overly much about here, so I haven't got this one in the collection, and I'm intrigued by it, and that is Spec Ops Stealth Patrol on PS1. Now, all of these discs are in really good condition, as I said, which I'm pleased with. Most of them have the manual. This one does, as you can see here. The case is a little bit damaged inside, like some of the teeth that keep the disc in are a bit broken, and it's a bit broken here. But I can recase these absolutely fine. Just so excited to find decent label PS1 games for £1 each. Know nothing about this game though. From the back, it looks pretty good. I'm intrigued to play it, obviously at the minute. I'm on holiday, so I can't play it, obviously. Haven't packed a PS1 with me for some reason. Next up, Army Men Sarge's Heroes. This one is one that I do know I have in the collection. I think it's one of the only ones that I do have out of this stack here. But again, for £1, can't leave it. Manual here and the disc, pretty good condition. The case is really bad, but inside it's in good condition. But again, I'll be able to recase that. Army Men games are pretty good. I do like these. I've just actually had a look on the back here. There's an old sticker for an old shop. Does anyone remember Cart Club? I've no idea if that's a chain. It sounds more like an independent one. Buy, sell, trade, video games, consoles, DVDs, music CDs and videos. Cart Club. Does anyone recognise that? I certainly don't. Next up, this is a game that I believe I've played years ago, but that is Hidden and Dangerous. Now, I might have played this on PC actually. I feel like I've played this game somewhere. Definitely wasn't on the PS1 though, so I don't have this in the collection. But this one didn't actually have the manual, but I'm not too worried about that. It's not like one of the best games in this bundle, and it is one of these ones where the disc is falling out. But again, I can recase these fine, that's no problem. But yeah, I feel like I've played a Hidden and Dangerous game, but now I'm not 100% sure. It does look pretty good from the back. I'm quite intrigued to give it a go, and on the PS1, to have my own copy of it for £1 is just brilliant. Next one, this one was a bit of a shame because I don't have this one in the collection and I've wanted it for ages. It doesn't have a front cover. It has the manual, just doesn't have the front cover. And that is Oddworld Abe's Odyssey on the PS1. Very excited to see that in there. Obviously it doesn't have the front cover, but it does have the manual and the disc, obviously. And I can play this game for only £1, and I've wanted to play this for a long time, so was really pleased to see it in there still. And I think this is like a £10 game, obviously with the cover art less, but it's got to be worth a £5, so pretty good one to see in there. I have played Oddworld Abe's Exodus, again shown that earlier in the video, but I have my own copy, but I've never played Abe's Odyssey, so really intrigued to play that one. The next one is one that I don't have in the collection, but I do love my racing games, so this one will be fun I'm sure, and that is Test Drive 4. Now this one is pretty good because it's one of those games that I believe has proper licensed cars. So you see on the back here it has some really good ones, Jaguar XJ220, Dodge Viper, Chevy Corvette, TVR Cerbera, Nissan's, yes, so this looks pretty cool, and I do like the racing games that have the licensed cars. And this one is in really good condition, it's complete, the disc is absolutely immaculate. Again, I don't suppose this game's worth overly much, but I'm really excited to play this one, so yeah. Was very pleased to see that one in the stack. Let me know if you've played any of these games in the comments as always. Populous, The New Beginning. Now this is one that I bought quite recently, I think I paid about £4 for it. Found it for £1, which is a bit of a shame, but never mind. Still pretty good to find. Now this one, again, battered case, but the disc and manual are both in really good condition. I played Populous on the Master System years ago, but never played it on the PS1. So to get it for £1 is pretty cool. Now, these next games are the ones that are probably like some of the best ones in my opinion. I have one of them, but don't have the other two in the collection, so very, very excited to show you these. So the first one is Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped. Now this is in really good condition. Again, case a little bit cracked, can't do nothing about that, but inside it's in really good condition. I have played Crash 3, brilliant game, not going to get too much into it. So you can see, the case is really bad. But manual in good condition and also really good condition disc. I may well swap this for my copy depending if the condition is better. I know the disc on mine does have some light scratches and this one's really good, so I'll probably at least swap out the disc. But really, really good game to see in there. Just nice to see good condition, decent PS1 games, because you don't see it very often anymore. Now this next one, these last two are the ones that I'm both most pleased to add to the collection, as I've been looking for both of these for absolute years, but either not seen them in very good condition or not had the money to pick them up at the time or something like that. So the first one is Medieval 2. Only £1 in this, in CEX with manual, is £25, so very, very pleased to have this. I have played on the PS1 the original Medieval, really, really enjoyed it, so I cannot wait to get playing Medieval 2. Again, if you've played it, let me know. But this just looks like such a good game. The reviews I've heard are great as well. The disc on this one, I think this one was one of the best conditioned discs in the bundle. I mean, that won't come across on camera, but it's absolutely immaculate, so yeah. Very, very excited to have this one in the collection now. Obviously, I have seen it before, but like not had the money to pick it up at the time, because £25 is quite a lot of money to spend on one game if you don't have the money to pick it up at the time. So To get it for £1 is brilliant. And the original Medieval was such a good game. I've wanted to play this one for so long, but just haven't had the chance, so I haven't owned a copy, so was so pleased to see that in the bundle. Now the last one is worth slightly less, but still the one that I'm most pleased with, both to have in the collection but also to play, because I'm very excited to play this one. And that is Mortal Kombat 3 on the PS1. Now the reason why I've wanted this in the collection for a long time is it's in one of these cardboard cases, which you do not see very often on the PS1. There's a little bit of sticker residue there. I will remove that, but I'm going to do it when I get home with some glue gun, because I don't want to risk ripping it while I'm on holiday and haven't got the stuff to do it. But this is in pretty good condition. The only damage on it is on some of these corners. You see, a little bit of whitening there and there. But apart from that, considering I pulled this out of a bag, literally with like loads of china and crockery and stuff, it's in surprisingly good condition. This is £18 in CX, and not crazy expensive, but not one you see very often. Inside it is complete with a manual, a really good condition disc. The manual does have ever so slight water damage, but I'm not too worried about that at all. I'm just pleased that I had the manual, to be fair. There's no pages ripped out of it or anything either, so it's in fine condition for me. I'm more than happy with that, and like I said, the disc is really good. But this is just such a nice little addition to the collection for only £1, considering it's 18 in CX and quite hard to find a copy. And I absolutely love the cardboard case on this one. So yeah, as you can see, some awesome games picked up in this video, but obviously I haven't shown you the footage yet. So any footage that I did get of me getting these finds, I'll put in now. Not a lot, as I said. I couldn't get loads of footage, because obviously you don't want to look too obvious like filming in someone's front garden or inside their shop. So I managed to get a little bit of footage. So here is the charity shop find. As you can see here, the PS2 games and also the PS1 games. And here is the garage sale find. Here is just a bit of footage of me flicking through each game, as you can see. Really, really pleased with this one. This one was definitely my favourite find, purely because of that Mortal Kombat and also that Medieval 2. Really, really excited to pick those up. But yeah, some great games picked up in today's video. Again, when you go to charity shops and garage sales, you're not guaranteed to find anything. So when you do, it just makes it all the more exciting. So as I've said already in this video, if you've got any comments about any of these games in particular, what one is your favourite one I picked up, or what one I should be playing first, as always, let me know in the comments down below. So as you can see, just got a little bit of footage, nothing too crazy, but enough to be able to see what I picked up. Didn't get any footage of the Scrabble, but that's not too bad. I'm not too bothered about that. It wasn't a great game anyway. But yeah, really, really pleased to find these, and also to pick up an original Game Boy game for 50p. It's really cool in my opinion. The next one was basically an all-round great car boot. Found some really, really cool consoles and games at this car boot, including a box of Atari 2600 games, near enough all complete in box. In today's video, I have quite a few really, really good car boot finds to show you, as I recently went to quite a big car boot and picked up some really cool bits for the collection. I've even picked up games complete in box from the Atari 2600 all the way up to the PS5. So there's a lot of variety to show you here, but some really cool bits and really cheap bits. So I'm really looking forward to showing you what I've found. So the first thing I'm actually going to show you is a console that I bought at the car boot. Now this was actually boxed, but I'm not going to be keeping the box, so I'll put a picture of the box in a minute. It is in absolutely terrible condition. I have never seen a console box in worse condition, but it was very, very cheap, and that's why I picked it up. So as you can see here, I have an original Mega Drive. Now this is in pretty good condition. There's a little bit of fade in there, but there's no scratching on it at all really. It's actually in quite good condition. Now as I said, I'm not going to be keeping the boxes, so I'll put a picture in now. It's literally the worst console box I've ever seen. I've never seen a console box in worse condition, so that has already gone in the bin. As you know, if you're not familiar with the channel, I don't collect Sega. My dad collects Sega. I collect Nintendo, PlayStation, Atari and Neo Geo. My dad exclusively collects Sega, so I'm going to be giving this to him. Now I have tested this and it fully works, mostly. You may have saw that I did a short on my channel about it, and it works, the sound works, it looks fine when you're looking at it. But the only thing that looks a little bit strange is whenever you're playing, every now and again, a little red line flashes up. I'll put a picture up on screen now, but like when you're playing, a little red line sometimes flashes up, which is really strange because it works fine apart from that. Like, it sounds great, the image is really good, especially when I used it on an old CRT as well. So I don't really know why that red line keeps appearing. Obviously you couldn't sell it as fully working when it's like that, but he can still use it absolutely fine. For a tenner, he's got a Mega Drive that he can use, which is near enough working fine. So I thought that was an absolute bargain. Obviously it's a risk picking up consoles at the car boot, but these old consoles, a lot of them were built so well, like they're so like robust. Like, I didn't have many doubts that this wouldn't work. As I said, it near enough works. It also came with two controllers. One of the controllers is a little bit dodgy, but the other one works absolutely fine. So really good pickup for only a tenner, essentially an unboxed Mega Drive, because that box is in too bad condition. But still an awesome thing to find for only £10. You don't see retro consoles that cheap very often anymore. And next up is a pickup that I feel like you would have had at the car boot quite often a few years ago, but now it's just getting rarer to find stuff like this. So I have two DS games here, and they wanted both for £5, so I was just going to pick them both up because they're both pretty good titles. So the first one is Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, and the second one is Super Mario Bros. On the DS. Now both of these are complete and they're in really good condition, like really, really clean. I'm going to have to check before I trade them in, if I trade them in. I might just trade them in CEX, but I'm going to have to check. They're probably in better condition than my copies, so I might well be swapping some of these out for my copies. I'm not sure yet, but really good pickups for only a £5 for both, because I think this is like a £6 game on its own. And I think Super Mario Bros. Is like a £15–20 game. I think they give you like at least £8 voucher. So I said, don't know if I'm going to trade them or just keep them to the side as yet, but really, really pleased to pick this up, because you don't see stuff like this very often anymore. It either doesn't happen very often, people selling good games like this that cheap at the car boot, like Mario games, they're obviously quite good, or like someone's beating you to it, like it's already gone. Really pleased to find these. And also, if you didn't have Super Mario Bros. In your collection, what a game to pick up for essentially only £2.50. Probably my favourite DS game ever released. So I'm going to save the Atari 2600 games till the end, because I'm really, really excited to show you those. But I have a few more modern games to show you here. One PS5 game and 4 PS4 games, and these were only £2 each. Which, again, is a pickup that I feel like a while back you would have had quite easily. Maybe not a PS5 game, but PS4. But now, these are obviously quite decent titles. They're quite obvious. They're good franchises to people. And they were still sitting there for £2 each. So really pleased with these. I'll show you the PS5 game first. It's actually worth surprisingly little, but still really cool to find a PS5 game for only £2. And that is Forspoken. Now, I don't have a PS5 in my collection. I've never played one either, and I know nothing about this game. I had never heard of it until I saw it at the car boot. So I'm going to read you a little bit on the back about this one. Mysteriously transported from New York City, Frey Holland finds herself trapped in the strange and treacherous land of Arthea. In search of a way home, Frey will venture deep into the heart of corruption, where she must battle monstrous creatures from the powerful titans and uncover secrets that awaken something much more from within. So that sounds pretty cool. Now, I'm not going to be keeping this, so I don't have a PS5. CEX sell this for £6, and I think I already know someone who's going to want this, someone who I know who actually has a PS5, so I'll probably just give it to him for a couple of quid, or if not, I'll just give it, to be fair, I'm probably just going to give it to him, because it's in really good condition, and he'll appreciate that. Although, I've just realised, I've opened it up, and it's actually got a reversible sleeve. What's on the other side of this? Oh, it's like just a different cover art. Yeah, didn't notice that at the car boot. Yeah, I think I already know someone who's going to want this, so if I've only paid £2 for it, I'll just give it to him. But yeah, pretty cool thing to find for only £2. And the next game, and start of the PS4 games, and that is Disney The Incredibles Lego on PS4. Again, all inside, good condition, with the good condition disc. I think these discs were really clean. Yeah, they're really clean. No manual on this one, but I think because it's got like this text, it didn't originally come with a manual, although that disc is on the wrong side. And I'm going to have to swap that now, because that is going to really annoy me if that stays on the wrong side. But yeah, The Incredibles Lego is a game that I've never played, but to be honest, I'm not that fussed about it. I do like the Lego games, but I have no interest in The Incredibles, really. So I'm not going to be playing this one. I think this trades in for like £4 or £5, so probably just going to trade this one in CEX. And the next two I'm really torn with what to do with, because I'm trying not to keep too many modern games in the collection, because I'm trying to collect a lot more of the retro. But these are both really cool looking games. So I have Sonic Forces and Sonic Mania Plus. And these are both games that I don't have on the Switch either, so I really don't know what to do with these. I've really downsized my PS4 collection to the stuff that I really, really want to play. So I feel like I'd be like stupid to keep these. This does trade in for a little bit. I can't remember how much, but I could definitely make more than £2 voucher on it. And this one I think trades in for like £10 or £11. So that's a really good one to find. And I'll show you inside. These are both, again, in really good condition. No manual on that one, but this one does have the manual and also the reversible Mega Drive sleeve, which I'll show you is really cool. Check out how cool that is, especially with the blue in the background as well. Sonic Mania Plus Mega Drive sleeve. And it actually looks like really like an original Mega Drive game, so that is sort of tempting me to keep it even more. I don't know if I'm going to keep it or not yet, but if I don't want to keep it, I can get an £11 voucher from CEX. So either way, for £2 is an absolute win. But yeah, that is a really, really good stack of games to find. And again, there's some really good titles in there, like Mario's and Sonic's, especially that Sonic Mania Plus is really, really cool. Again, not sure which of these I'm going to keep or end up trading in CEX, but either way, it was a great find. And if you can, help me out, let me know in the comments down below. Do you think Sonic Mania is worth keeping in the collection? If you've played it, let me know. Or do you think I should trade it in for an £11 voucher? Do let me know in the comments down below. So here I have the box of Atari games that I picked up here, and this is such a cool pickup, and I do have footage of this one, which I'll show you in a minute. But how cool is this to find at a car boot? You don't see stuff like this at the car boots hardly ever. I only have a couple of Atari 2600 games in the collection, so to find all of these at one car boot is absolutely amazing. And I asked how much these were, and they said a tenner for the box. And I could not have picked them up quicker. It was actually from the same stall that had that Mega Drive, that's why there's a copy of FIFA 95 in here. And also, I'll show you in a minute, there's another Mega Drive game. Nothing crazy, it's another football game. But still, a very, very cool pickup to find for £10. It's like absolutely crazy. And here was the other Mega Drive game, Super Kickoff. Again, not a crazy game, but I can imagine a pretty fun one. But yeah, those games are going to be pretty hard to show you standing here. But now I'm going to show you those Atari games in a lot more detail. So as you can see, here I am here looking through this box of Atari 2600 games. Now, I don't really have any idea of the value of Atari 2600 games, but I just knew that these were boxed. And to see boxed Atari 2600 games at a car boot is pretty unheard of nowadays. So when I asked about how much they were, they said only £10 for the entire box, so I knew I had to pick these up. The next video was when I had an absolutely mega find of just loads of really good stuff to trade in CEX, games, DVDs, and so much other cool stuff. So I have a little bit of a different video for you. I recently went to a car boot and did really well on absolutely loads of things to trade in CEX. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to show you the stuff that I bought, then I'm going to go to CEX, trade in the stuff, and then we'll come back here and I'll tell you what I actually got for the stuff. I probably won't actually film in CEX, just as the main reason why I'm going is to trade in. So if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, please subscribe to our channel Retrohead. Without further ado, let's have a look at these finds. So the first thing I'm going to show you, as you can see here, is probably the best thing if they take it. Now this is a Lenovo monitor. I'll put information on screen about the model number and all that. But I don't really like taking the risk on this sort of thing at car boots. But when I heard the price, I had to pick it up. When I did a bit of research, if this trades in, I could only see a B grade, which I'd be more than happy with. It's in very nice condition, for £33 voucher. But when I asked the price on this, I thought if it's like really cheap, I'll get it and risk it. But they said they wanted £1 for this, which I could not believe. So I obviously had to pick this up and give it a try. Even if they don't take it, it's only £1 wasted. But if they do, a £33 voucher would be absolutely brilliant. Next thing I have here is a set of headphones. And I'll put a little bit of information here. These are Razer Chiara wired headset. Now this is a really nice headset, as you can see here. It's got the microphone and everything. And I have fully tested this and it all works absolutely fine. So I paid £3 for this, and depending on the grade, I know the box is really damaged, but inside these are in like impeccably good condition. I'm hoping to get at least a B grade for this, and I think I'm going to get about £25 voucher for this roughly. Again, everything that I get on the voucher I'll tell you at the end of the video, but that was another really good find for only £3. Certainly a good find. So this is a Ring Video doorbell, and this is, I can't remember the model number of this actually. I'm going to have to put a little bit of information on screen of the model of this, and I paid £4 for this, which was such a good price. Again, I don't mind taking the risk when it's that cheap. I normally don't like buying electronics at car boots, but when they're as cheap as these ones are today, I just couldn't help but take the risk. Next up, I have a decent sized stack of media. So the first one is the complete series Gossip Girl. I have never heard of this series, but this is only £1 that trades in for £3. So that was a pretty good find there. Nothing crazy, but still pretty good. The next thing is 28 Days Later on DVD. This DVD I only paid 50p for, and this still trades in for a £5. So that was a really good find. It's in really nice condition as well, as you can see. So yeah, easy £5 voucher there. Next up, we have the complete 8th season of the Game of Thrones. This one trades in for £9, and I only bought this for £1. Along with this next DVD, as you can see here, the complete series 5 of Poldark. That was also £1, so these were £1 each. Again, £9 voucher for this one, and this trades in for £4. So it's £2 into £13 voucher there, so that was really good. This next one isn't too crazy, but we have The Crow, 50p into £1, but you still can't complain. These next games were really cheap, as you can see here. These 3 PS2 games, all on Platinum, weirdly enough. But I already have Need for Speed in my collection, and I'm not bothered about the other two. Medal of Honor trades in for 80p. Lord of the Rings trades in for £2 and this one £3. It's a £5.80 from 50p, which is really good. The discs on those ones are a little bit scratched, but I do hope they take them because they're not too bad. Moving along, we have 3 Xbox 360 games. You might have seen 2 of these on a short. These are all 50p each. So we have Injustice, Gods Among Us. This only trades in for 80p. I thought it might trade in for a bit more, but that don't matter. Then we have Left 4 Dead, the Game of the Year edition. This was a really good find, 50p, because the Game of the Year edition of this game trades in for £12 voucher, which is brilliant. And finally, we have Left 4 Dead 2. But Left 4 Dead 2 currently trades in for £10, which is really awesome. So as I said, I'm going to go to CEX now and let you know what I got for all of this stuff. So now I'm going to head to CEX and I'll tell you how much of this stuff they took and what they didn't take, and also how much voucher I got at the end. So I'm back from CEX and they actually took absolutely everything that I traded in, which is brilliant. Like, that does not happen very often, but every single thing that I took they actually accepted, which is great. So I'm going to go down this receipt here. So first off, I did get £1 for the Crow and pay 50p for that, so nothing crazy, but still pretty good. Then we have the Pole Dark free disc, that was £4. 28 days later for £5 voucher, that was a really good little find. The free PS2 games, Need for Speed Underground, Lord of the Rings Return to the King, and Medal of Honor Frontline. I got £3 for Need for Speed, £2 for Lord of the Rings, and 80p for Medal of Honor. But those games only cost 50p for all three, which is brilliant. Then we have the other 50p games. So Injustice, Gods Among Us was 80p. I thought trade in for a bit more, but I don't really care about that. That's fine. Left 4 Dead 2 on the 360 is £10 voucher, which was really good. And Left 4 Dead, the Game of the Year edition, was £12, which was really, really nice. Game of Thrones Season 8 was £9 voucher, and Gossip Girl 1 to 6 was £3 voucher. So that was a really, really good little voucher there. And again, I didn't pay very much for that stuff, so really good finds. And the other voucher I have here, and this was definitely the best one, so there's 3 things on here, and these are all the things that needed tested, so I booked them in. Had a little look around the charity shops, and then got the receipt for these. So again, they took all 3 things, so I traded in a Lenovo monitor, a Ring doorbell, and a Razer headset. So for the Ring doorbell, that I wasn't 100% sure if they'd take, because I didn't know if it worked, so I literally had to take it in and hope that it worked, and it obviously did, because they took it. So I got B grade for that, even though it was in the box, but I think there was a couple of scratches on the actual doorbell. And I only paid £4 for it, so I really didn't care. So I got a £24 voucher for that, which is great. Next up, we have the Razer wired headset. That was the lime green one for Xbox One and Series X. And that traded in for £28, which was brilliant, because that only cost £3. And the best item was that £1 monitor that I literally bought for £1. The Lenovo L22E 21.5 inch LED monitor in B grade traded in for a £32 voucher. So I paid £1, £5, £8 for that voucher, and I got an £84 voucher back just for those 3 items alone, which is absolutely brilliant. So editing me can do a little bit of maths. So for all of those items, just from one Carboot, I paid this much for, and I got this much on the voucher, which is absolutely amazing. And I don't know why, but hardly anyone at that Carboot was looking for things to trade in CX or games. It literally felt like I had my pick of all the games, which doesn't happen very often anymore. So a great Carboot. The next one was where I bought my rarest and most expensive game off Facebook Marketplace. Today, in my opinion, is one of the most exciting videos that I'm going to make, and that is because I've bought the most expensive and rarest game in my collection so far. This is a game that I've never actually seen before in real life, and I actually found it on Facebook Marketplace. And I paid £90 for it, which is half of what CEX sell it for, and it is absolutely incredible. But I also picked up 2 games, one that's not quite so crazy. I'll show you in a minute. Well, it's not as crazy at all, but I'll show you the absolutely crazy game at the end. So the first game is a boxed N64 game, no manual on this one. The next game as well, the crazy one, is also an N64 game, and that one is complete. But this one doesn't have the manual, and that is Star Wars Shadows of Empire. Now this is a game that I've never played before. I've seen some footage and it looks really good. I'm not a very big Star Wars fan, but I do like collecting the Star Wars games. And as you can see from the footage now, I think this looks like a really good game. Now, I only picked these up a few days ago, so I haven't got around to playing this one yet. I've played the other one, but I've not played this one yet. But it looks really, really good. I played Star Wars Episode 1 Racer on the N64 and really, really enjoyed that game. And I do also have Star Wars Rogue Squadron, and I've only played that once, so it was pretty good. So I'm really looking forward to checking this out when I get round to it. But I'll just show you the condition of the box. This box is in really nice condition. Like, it's actually really, really good. The main part of the damage is there's a tiny little crease there. But apart from that, it's pretty good. Now, as I said, inside there's no manual and the cartridge is really faded. But I only wanted a tenner for this, so I was definitely going to pick it up for a tenner. As you see, there is the cartridge there. It is really faded, but I'm more fussy about the condition of the outside of the box because I'll be using that to play, so I'm not too worried about the condition of that. It was more the box that I was concerned about, but the box is in really good condition. So I'm really pleased to be adding this to my collection. Let me know if you've played this game and if it's any good in the comments down below, but I really look forward to trying this one out. So that was actually the first game that I saw that he had for sale, and I was like, oh, for a tenner I'll go and pick that up. But then I had a look at the other games that he had listed, and I saw this game that he had listed, and I literally could not believe what I was seeing, and the price of it as well was insane. So I'll show you the game first. So that is Daffy Duck, Duck Rogers on the N64. Now, if you're not familiar with N64 collecting, this is one of the rarest N64 games that you can buy. CEX don't have one in stock loose, boxed without manual, or boxed with manual. They don't have one at all. This game loose is £65, £165 without manual boxed, but with manual boxed, this is a £180 game, and they don't even have one in stock. Now, I am absolutely over the moon with this. He had this advertised on Facebook for £120, and I did not really have £120 spare to drop on one game at the time. So I knew I was going around for that. I didn't mention it, but at the door I said, have you still got the Daffy Duck game on N64? And he said yes. So I was getting quite excited at this point, and then I said, what would be your best price on it? And he said he could drop it down to 90. And I was not expecting him to drop it down that far. So I paid £90 for this, and I am absolutely over the moon with it. I'll be doing a full unboxing for you of it in a minute, just to show you inside, because it's in really good condition. But as you can see, the outer box is also in really good condition. It is 100% legit, don't worry about that. I'm very paranoid with that. I checked it 100 times before I paid and 100 times afterwards. But I am absolutely thrilled to add this to the collection. Now, I'm not actually going to be using this cartridge to play. I got home and tested the game to make sure it worked fine. It works absolutely fine. It's going to be staying in the box, but I do have this game on my emulator. So I'll also be showing you at the end of this video how I'm going to be playing this game. But I've been a fan of Looney Tunes for absolutely years and love collecting them for the N64. So this has been a game that I've always thought I'd love to have, but to be honest, I never ever thought I'd get the chance to pick it up. Just because I would never spend £180 on this game. But £90, I'll definitely pay for it. The cartridge is only a little bit faded, but I'm not too worried about that. It's mainly the outer box I'm fussed about. So I'm absolutely, so happy with this. I never ever thought I'd have this game in my collection, so to have it in my hands right now is absolutely insane. The next video is going to have some amazing stuff to trade in CEX, a few bits from the charity shops and car boots, but mainly an absolutely insane Facebook Marketplace find. Today I have a video that is all about trading in CEX, as over the last couple of weeks I've had incredible luck on Facebook Marketplace, car boots and charity shops to find some absolutely awesome stuff to trade in CEX. Now, every game here I'm going to be showing you is going to be trading in CEX. I have no pickups for the collection today. Without further ado, let's show you these finds. So what I'm going to do is when I show you a game, I'm going to tell you what I paid either for one game or for the bundle, and then we'll have some totals in the bottom corners of how much I paid and how much CEX will give me on the voucher. So the first thing I have to show you is a copy of Mario Kart Wii with a Wii wheel. Now this one is a little bit different to add on to the total because I pay 50p for the empty case, 50p for the loose disc, and £1 for the Wii wheel, all on separate times. I've been piecing this together for ages. I've got a couple of spare Mario Kart cases that I keep back for when I can find the discs and the wheels. So £2 total, and that is an £11 voucher. So that is a great way to start off our voucher total. Next up, I have a little car boot find, and this is actually pretty cool, but I'm not really into this sort of thing. So it's a Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare Collector's Edition. Now this cost only £3, so I was really pleased to find it. I thought if CEX don't take it, I will keep it because it is quite nice. I don't collect for 360 or PS3, but I just collect the things that are a little bit different sometimes. But it has the art book, the bonus disc, and also the game, all in really good condition. Which is nice to see, and this was only £3 as I said, and I was really pleased when I scanned this in when I got home, because this trades in for a £13 voucher, so that was another really good find. Next up I have a charity shop find. Now if you didn't see one of my most recent videos, I picked up quite a few loose Zelda games from a charity shop, and it was a really good 3DS find, and the 3DS finds keep on coming, because I asked about games in a charity shop and they bought out these 3 games and they only wanted £2 each for them, so I was really pleased to find these. So the first game is Mario Party Island Tour on the 3DS. Or by the way, I already have all 3 of these, otherwise I keep all 3. This trades in for a £6 voucher, so that was really nice to find. The next game is Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. Again, already have this, and that is another £6 voucher. If any of these values have changed when I've changed them, I will add screenshots of all of the voucher values, just in case I am wrong on a couple of these. And the final one is Animal Crossing New Leaf. Again, £2 paid, and I already have it. And this trades in for, I believe, a £12 voucher. So that is another really good find. And 2 more games to show you before I show you the end bundle, a Facebook Marketplace bundle that was absolutely crazy. But these are 2 Xbox 360 games. They wanted £1 each, but I got the 2 for £1.50. So the first game is Just Dance 2018, and the second game is London 2012 Olympics on the Xbox 360. This game trades in for £4, and this game trades in for £6, which is a really good £1.50 into £10 voucher. And as I said, the awesome 3DS games just keep on coming. So we have a Facebook Marketplace bundle here, which is absolutely brilliant. Now, I don't very often do this, but I check Marketplace all the time, but I don't very often message about something, get a message back in literally 5 minutes, and literally leave to go and get it like 5 minutes later. So here I am on the way to pick out this bundle, and as I said, this is a really, really good bundle. Now, I'm not actually going to be keeping any of these games, as I said in the video, just because I actually had all the games I'd be fussed about. So I'm trading all of these games into CEX, but there is some crazy value here, as you can see by just a couple of titles on the car floor. So just picked up the games as you can see here. I'll obviously show you the games room in more detail, but just wanted to show you a few titles. There's some really, really good titles here. Some real good trading value as well, so I'll show you these in more detail back at the games room. So this whole bundle was only £20, and there is some great games in here. So I'm really looking forward to showing you what I have in here. 1DS and all the 3DS games I already own, so they'll all be traded in. And I'm also trading in all of these button games because they're titles I'm not bothered about. But there is some great value here. So I'm going to save these ones till last because these are definitely the best ones. But there is still a lot of value in these games. So we'll start off with the PS2 games. And this person was obviously a very big Harry Potter fan. Because we have Harry Potter the Goblet of Fire. This trades in for 80p. Then we have 2 copies of The Prisoner of Azkaban. I believe that's how you say it. I'm not a Harry Potter fan. And finally, a copy of Harry Potter the Chamber of Secrets. That also trades in for £2. So already here we have £6.80 on a voucher. But then we have this stack of PS3 games. And these are again all Harry Potter games. And again, some really, really good games here. So we'll start off with the least valuable one first. And that is the Deathly Hallows Part 1. That trades in for a £3 voucher. This next one is a good one. This is Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. That trades in for an £8 CEX voucher. And again, it's all in with a £20. All of these games were £20. And also, we have Harry Potter the Deathly Hallows Part 2, which trades in for a £10 voucher. But even better than that, I also have another copy. And in this bundle, all of these discs are in absolutely mint condition as well. And finally, the best part of the bundle, and that is these games here. And again, all in with a £20. I can't believe how good this bundle was. So the first game we have is the Sonic Classic Collection. I think this trades in for a £12 voucher. Next up, we have Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games. Again, already have this. And I think this is about a £4 voucher. This is one that I can't remember. At least a £4 voucher, let's say that. Next up, we have Super Mario Bros. 2, a £10 voucher. We also have Miitopia, which is a really fun game. That is another £6 voucher. And then, the best game of the bundle is Tomodachi Life. Now, this game has gone up in value very quickly over the last sort of year or two. So I bought this game the day it came out on the 3DS. I remember buying this literally the day it came out. It's a great game. But I also have owned other copies of this in the past. Now this trades in for a £33 voucher, which is absolutely brilliant. And this is the best game in the bundle. But while I'm talking about Tomodachi Life, I just wanted to tell you something that I remember doing absolutely years ago. So I already had a copy of Tomodachi Life in my collection. But when the 3DS was sort of ending its sales of all the games a few years ago, I went to Smith's Toys and found a sealed copy of Tomodachi Life for £4.99. At the time in CEX it traded in for £15, so it was a great find back then, but imagine finding a sealed copy of Tomodachi Life now for a £5. That would be crazy. But again, this is another £33 to add to that voucher total, which is absolutely brilliant. But obviously, these aren't all guaranteed takes because I still have them with me in the games room. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to CEX, and I'll see what they take and don't take, and whatever they don't take, I'll take off the voucher total. But now, let's go to CEX. So I'm back from CEX, and it's actually a couple of days later with me filming this. So they actually only didn't take one thing, which is brilliant. And it wasn't even anything of crazy value, and that is London 2012 on the Xbox 360. This only trades in for a £4 voucher anyway. So with the Just Dance and the London 2012 costing me both £1.50, 75p each, I'm going to take 75p off the what I paid, and also £4 off the CEX total. With me taking that much stuff in CEX and them only rejecting one game, that is very good. I think sometimes they reject one thing even if they don't have to, just to make it look like the member of staff is actually being picky of what they take and checking the condition. But I'm not fussed, it's only a £4 voucher. So yeah, this video is absolutely crazy. As often I find that with Facebook Marketplace especially, but also charity shops and car boots, you can go ages without finding any decent stuff to trade in CEX. But then it all seems to come at once. So these finds were all found within 5 days of each other. And spending that little cash to get that much voucher back is really, really good. And that is how I afford to pick up all of the awesome games you see behind me. And the final find was when I found a really nice boxed original Game Boy on Facebook Marketplace. Today I have a really, really exciting video for you as I've added something awesome to my collection. Definitely my favourite thing that I've added for a really long time. This is actually a Facebook Marketplace find that came up at a really, really good time because I've recently done a Carboot of some games that I didn't want anymore for my collection, a lot of Wii, DS, stuff like that. So I've got rid of all of those games. I managed to make £200, and this Facebook Marketplace find cost £100. Now I wouldn't have actually been able to buy that if I didn't do that Carboot, and it was literally stuff I didn't want anymore, like loads of bulk games, loads of old toys, not really very good stuff to be honest. But I've managed to turn that into a really, really awesome piece to add to my collection, which I'm really excited about. So the item that I've brought to add to my collection is this incredible condition, complete in box, original Game Boy. Now I do already have an original Game Boy in my collection, but this is a different box. My other one is just the original box. I'll show you that in a minute. But this is in incredibly good condition. The only damage on it in a minute, which I'll show you, is on the plastic window, but I'll show you this much more closely. We'll do a proper unboxing of it and everything. But this is absolutely incredible, and like I say, I just cannot believe how good the condition is of this. Now, like I say, this whole bundle cost £100, and CEX are charging £180 for just an original Game Boy in the box. And bearing in mind, it probably wouldn't be in this condition either. And I did also get some really cool games with this. So before I show you the boxed games, I'll show you the loose games, because it did come with 3 loose games. Nothing particularly crazy here, the boxed games are definitely better. So we have Super Mario Land on the Game Boy. This one is a little bit battered, but I'll probably just use this one, because I do have one complete in box there, so I'll put that cartridge back in there, and I'll just use this cartridge to play. Next up, we have a game that you can't get a Game Boy bundle without, and that is Tetris. But inside, this is a really, really nice label, so I'll probably be replacing my copy of this with this copy, because it's in really good condition. And the final loose game we have is Gremlins 2, which I recently played on my handheld emulator, and it's a really, really fun game. But I would highly recommend this one. And I'll just briefly show you these 2 boxed games before we look at them in much more detail. So the first one is not in quite as good condition as the other one, and that is the Bugs Bunny and the Crazy Castle. And the other one is Tiny Toons Bab's Big Break. Now this is absolutely awesome, as I love the Looney Tunes, and I've wanted both of these games in my collection for ages. So in my opinion, the person who had this bundle before me had very, very good taste in games. This game, complete in box at CEX, is about £30, and this one with manual is £40. With the Game Boy selling for £180, the loose game's probably worth about a £5 each, and also these 2 games. There's a lot of value here, and it was a really good deal. But I just wanted to talk about this game a little bit more first of all, because I actually tried to buy this game from CEX twice, and they went wrong both times, but I'm glad they did now, because I got it much cheaper. So the first time was when I went to Yarmouth CEX, and I saw they had this on the website, and I went there to go and get it and have a look at the condition of that. But I actually went, and it was a different game, and it was this game, Bugs Bunny of the Crazy Castle 4 on Game Boy Color. Now, if you've watched that video, I'll link it at the end if you haven't watched it, but basically CEX weren't actually allowed to sell me this game because it's not on their stock system and someone took it in as this game when it was actually this game, and they actually ended up giving it to me for free, so it didn't really go wrong. And the other time I tried to pick up this game was in lower stock CEX, but sadly it was in really, really rough condition, and it was actually an American copy, which I don't mind when I find games cheap, but they were charging like £35 for it. But I do finally have this game in the collection, and it is in pretty good condition. Not quite as good as the other one, but it's still pretty nice. But now let's take a look at this bundle in more detail. So here we have the console here, and like I said, the main bit of damage on this box is, as you can see in the plastic window, there is a slight bit of damage in the plastic here and here. But for an original Game Boy, this box is in incredibly good condition. Like, every corner on it is really, really nice. I'm super pleased with this. And the person actually told me the story on how they bought this. So they used to have an original Game Boy years and years ago, but it broke in their childhood. And then they went to a store and bought this one brand new, but then they never really used it after that. So it's literally just been sitting in the box for absolutely years. So I'm really looking forward to showing you what's inside here as well. So I've got to try and pick the best side to open this, because one of the sides is quite easy and the other side is really difficult. So I've now opened the side of the box and we'll slide out the console here. And inside this is also in really, really good condition. So we have the little insert here. This is where they would have originally had some batteries and stuff. But here we have the console, and this, again, is just in such good condition. The battery contacts have absolutely no corrosion on enough, and it literally looks brand new. So I'm really pleased with this. I do already have a pretty rough original Game Boy that works, so I will be using that one and keeping this one in the box. But it does also have all of its original paperwork and manuals and stuff in there, which is really, really good. And also its proper user booklet in the bottom here as well, which literally looks unread. So really, really pleased to have this. Again, my one is also in really good condition. But I mainly bought this just because the box was a different variant, and I am really into collecting these box variants like of consoles now. Especially as I've got like a lot of the consoles that came out, I have just naturally had to start going for the console variations. So I'm really, really pleased with this. And just before we look at the games, this is my original Game Boy. This is the standard one in the box. I absolutely love this box. Like, it's so, so cool. I love the neon lights on the front and everything. And this one is also in incredible condition as well. But to have this console and this console next to each other is going to look awesome. And as I said, we'll also have a look at the games. So I'll have a close look at the loose ones first. As I said, this Mario Land on the Game Boy here is pretty rough. It's definitely the roughest part of the bundle. I forgot to say, this bundle also did come with like an unofficial Game Boy Light, but that was in terrible condition, so I'm not going to include that in the video. But here we have this character here, and I'm literally just going to use this one to play, because it does work absolutely fine. And I'll keep my nice label one back in the original box. The next game we have is Tetris. You can't buy a Game Boy bundle without Tetris. But again, this one has got a nice label, so I have to see if this one is in better condition than mine. And finally, this one is American, but I don't mind, because it's just a cheap one. And that is Gremlins 2. You can tell it's American by the Nintendo logo being an oval. So that's how you can tell on games, like any games, modern and old. You can just tell if they've got the oval Nintendo logo. But this was a really fun game. As I said, I recently played this via emulation, and it was really good. Any game that Sunsoft makes is going to be pretty good as well. They're great developers. So I was really pleased to actually get a physical cartridge of this game. And finally, we have the two complete in-box games. So the first game is Bugs Bunny and the Crazy Castle. And this has been a game that I've wanted to play for absolutely ages, so I really look forward to trying this one out. First of all, I'll show you the cartridge. It is in really, really nice condition, like really, really good. Here we have the manual as well, and that is again in really good condition. There's a slight bit of wear, from, like as you'd expect, but apart from that, it's in really good condition. Great artwork in this one as well. Bugs Bunny is one of my favourite Looney Tunes as well. And finally the box here, this box does have a little bit of wear on, as you'd expect. It's not in quite as good condition as the other box, but it's still pretty nice. For an original Game Boy game, they're so hard to find in good condition. Just by little signs of wear, I just mean like little marks, ever so slight little marks, like there's a little bit of a crease there. But apart from that, that is a great addition to add to the collection. And the final game in this bundle is Tiny Toons Bab's Big Break. Now, this is another game that I've wanted to play for ages, never played it before. As you can see, the manual has got some signs of wear, just a little bit folded and stuff, but again, the artwork in this is really, really nice. And it's not too bad at all, really. Next up, we have the cartridge, and that is in really nice condition again. Like, this person really, really took care of their stuff, which is great to see. And finally, we have the Game Boy box. Now, I'm not as fussy as other collectors. I would give this a solid 7.5, 8 out of 10. If it didn't have that line up there, I'd probably say 8.5 out of 10. Like, I would say this is a very, very nice condition copy of this game. And like I said, just one that I've wanted to play for absolutely ages. And this in CEX boxed with manual is a £40 game. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and please subscribe. And also thank you so much to everyone who's watched the channel in 2025. I really, really appreciate it. And also, have an absolutely amazing Christmas. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye!